Is Halo Infinite enough to sell the Xbox Series X more than the PS5? Um, this is a hard question because I'd say that if it was strictly a Series X exclusive, yes. But considering you can play uh, Halo Infinite on the Xbox One, um, and with everything going on at the moment with COVID, um, I see the initial batch of both consoles selling out, and if we get a replenish before the end of the year, who knows? And it just depends how much each company makes. But yeah, I think the initial batch of both consoles will sell out just because it's new console. Um, but as time goes on, people that were without a job for an extended period of time, you know, if especially if they're a Microsoft gamer, they may just decide, well, hey, now's not the right time to upgrade, and I can still play these epic games, Forza, Halo, on my series or my Xbox One X, and if the games are great like they should be, hey, maybe in March, April, May, or whatever of the following year, I'll go ahead and get that Series X. So it's a hard question to ask with everything going on, right now in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if the game was strictly and you were forcing your hand to buy a Series X to play the new Halo, then yes, because as what they've shown from PlayStation so far, PlayStation's not going to be launching with an epic title. I mean, they'll be launching so far from what we know with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it's a standalone game, but it's not really Spider-Man 2. So
Right.
this is Halo. Like this is the big boy game.
Halo's
So
big. Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, not to ramble on, but yeah,
No,
to
you're
answer
good.
your question, it's kind of a tough question, but I think it's going to be very close. I kind of agree with that article. Um, I think they said like 4.4 million would sell before the end of the year for PlayStation and like 3.6 or something for Xbox. I think that's fair. And that's actually a pretty good for Xbox, I think, because considering you can still play these games on Xbox One.
Hmm.
So to sell that many consoles and be, right on the tails of PlayStation by the end of the year, uh, that's pretty good. But then again, we also don't know what's going to happen in July. I mean, we could get $100 price point difference than PlayStation.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things that we still don't know until July about what Xbox is actually bringing to the table. And I also think Sony may have some surprises still in their sleeves. So yeah, it's going to
Okay.
be interesting.
Uh, just to uh, just to make some reference, that was this article on GamesIndustry.biz was written by Brendan Sinclair, and the analyst was Harding Rolls. And Andrew, you were correct that it was 4.6 million is projected to sell for Sony PlayStation 5, and 3.3 million for Xbox Series X. That's what he has projected for the first 2 months. Like that's 2020 sales for those
Right.
consoles. Um, Now that Andrew, you definitely bring up a really good point. Like, you know, with COVID going on and everything like that, people are not in the financial position to buy these consoles. But it also kind of goes the other way around too. Like, are these people going to go out and buy a PS5? And when it comes down to it, if PlayStation 5 only has Spider-Man, is it going to be enough to make people say, I got to get a PS5 right now this holiday season?
Right.
Um, that is it's such a weird thing with Xbox releasing Halo Infinite on One and the Series X. It it's not a system seller, you know. I mean, it's not the killer
Yeah.
app because there's already you can already play it.
But like I said, to kind of back that up too, is if they do come in, say $100, say they release an all digital. Let's just say Xbox is going to come out with the all digital, and theirs is only going to be $3.99 or even $2.99. Who knows? They could
Yeah.
go crazy and go say, hey, $2.99 for the Series S, and $399 for the Series X, and then PlayStation's coming in at $449 and $549 or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a it just depends what Microsoft really wants to do. If they want to sell the system, they'll sell it at a loss. If they really are, like they seem to be, if they really are happy with the whole ecosystem of the Xbox One blending with the Series X, then they may just cut $50 to $100 off. They may just say, hey, we'll give a discount on but we're not going crazy. But if they really want to push it, and if they have these games lined up ready to come out, Forza, Halo, even Hellblade, who knows, and they go, hey, look, if Fable, and they go, hey, all these games are coming holiday season in January 2021. People are gonna be like, I'm buying an Xbox.
Right. I mean,
I'm almost July.
That's crazy. I feel like Halo and Forza is enough to say, like, hey, here's a huge racing game and here's a huge franchise, Halo Infinite, FPS shooter. That's enough to at least carry them through until quarter two.
Sorry. I was going to say my final thought on it too is if the difference of Halo Infinite on the Series X is next gen upgrade over Xbox One, and it's just playable Xbox One, but then they could also turn around and say, hey, look, Halo Infinite is on the Xbox One, but it's also built from the ground up for the Series X. And that could be like the big surprise of, hey, look, you can play it on whatever you want, but this is a next gen upgrade.
Yeah.
Then it could be like, for it. Yeah. So it's not exclusive, but if you want that performance and that graphics, that's exclusive.
All right. And I mean, another big thing is also to add on to that is that it just makes a huge difference that all of these games are going to be on Game Pass day one. And when you buy your Xbox Series X, you already have Halo Infinite if you get Game Pass for only $10.
Yes.
You can play Halo Infinite on day one, and you don't have to worry about buying an extra game. You don't have to worry about buying 2 extra games like Forza and Halo. $10, you get both of those games. So I mean, that's such a that's such a big thing. If they do Forza, that's obviously hasn't been confirmed yet, but we're expecting it. Greg, your thoughts?
I still expect them to only have one SKU, and I think we'll probably talk about that later. There'll be just the disc version and priced $100 less. Mm-hmm. I think that'll entice people to buy the Xbox, but I mean, you remember the hype when the One X came out? Everyone was like, I don't care if I'm playing the same games. I want to play them better.
Yeah.
I want to play them the best that they can be. The same thing when the Pro came out. Everyone was like, I don't care if it's only a little upgrade. I want the best graphics
and people
that I can
went
get.
out and bought a $500 console to do that.
Right. And it was like a half step upgrade to what it was.
It's true.
Yeah, people bought them like hotcakes.
Yeah, people still buy them. So, all right. Well, Greg, that's a good segue into our next episode. So if you're watching this in a separate video, we'll have a little card that pops up. You can click that one and get into it. If you're watching it on our podcast, awesome. You got the full package deal. All right. So we're going to talk about, we're talking about our War Games segment here. This is where we come up with our own wild conjectures. Will the Xbox Scarlet be a Switch competitor? You know what I mean? All right, so this is where
You mean Lockhart?
I'm sorry, what did I say?
You said Scarlet.
I'm sorry. Yes, Lockhart. Oopsies. We already know what Scarlet is. Yeah. So will Lockhart be a Switch competitor